All right, I was rudely interrupted. Part 2. They hacked into it. Stupid bastards. Again, same purpose from today, all of them. They're part of the same plan. Alright, so anyway, Manson sends disturbing message to America's youth. This is a Daily Bruin Viewpoint, Wednesday, January 29th, 1997. I also heard Tamara Hoffman via NSA. She was my high school AP US history teacher. But I hate her. Now lives in Oakland. Like LA Unified's in trouble because they're stalking former students still. Mr. Lom's my junior high school teacher. My mom was taking care of me. They didn't exactly come out then, but they made me aware of their presence. I was in the 7th grade. Horacio was in the 7th grade too, with the same class I was, and he was our teacher, U.S. history teacher. Not AP, but LA Unified's in trouble.
Don't worry. We'll get more people.
Anyway, Albanian president pacifies investor into Esperanza settles price-fixing suit. More on Dr. King. 9th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Oratorical Contest tonight, January 30th, 1997. Where do we go from here? Chaos or community? Great. So Daily Bruin News, Thursday, January 30th, page 8 of that particular section. Army Reserve, BLU Chem B. Where are we? I wonder. I think we're just stupid. Very cool. That's us. Oh, very nice. Navy. That's the Army. Very nice. Arts and Entertainment this Thursday, January 30th, 1997, page 18.
Mother, but I'm slowly retiring from my job, so I will be childless. My hobbies include X, Y, and Z.
You don't even know my hobbies?
What?
You don't even know my hobbies?
Well, I was gonna say something like, my hobbies include pestering people, getting swiped in for free.
Around this time, Romeo and Juliet was out.
And fucking with
Free. Good free. Coleman, too. Courtesy of Trojan. The name, the label Trojan. Let's not get just confused with USC. Nice try. Youth arrested after standoff. Yeltsin makes TV appearance. Pope hopes to visit Sarajevo in April. Vatican City. Teachers take to the streets in Belgrade. Strikes. Protesters join others in demanding back pay salary raises by Misha Savic, The Associated Press.
Yes.
Friday,
I'm admitting to them.
January 31st, 97,
Yeah,
page
yeah.
4.
To be honest, I actually have no bearing on the data. My only job is to build the app that pulls the data and posts the individual users. So whatever data I get is from that the grad student parsed through from good services. So if you have complaints, you can bring it up with the guy who knows what he's doing.
Search to increase value of faith, a viewpoint. Friday, January 31st, 97, page 10. Question your knowledge before judging others. Ignorance. We all lack a certain amount of wisdom, so there's no use pointing it out, by Michael Doherty,
Then sort of like,
a fourth-year English student. Self-preservationist guide to relationships. Look out for oneself has its benefits,
that sort of stuff.
but can be destructive for everyone involved. Catherine Tom.
Necessarily, the argument you want to have is my experience that these. You know what?
I like the picture though. Very cool. It's me. Cute Chivis. Cute Chivis. My nickname was Chivis when I was a little girl. Chivita. My mom once told me it's Michelle Phillips, aka Beatriz Adriana, from Mamas and Papas. She told me, "Did you know that when I was a little girl, my name was also nicknamed Chivis, Chivita?" She was Sergeant Lieutenant Sylvia Leticia Garcia. Date of birth 10/29/56. I made general in National Guard here in USA. I'm like, no deletrearon nuestros nombres, lo más básico, lo más importante. What's my mother's middle name? They don't know shit. Sergeant Sylvia Leticia Garcia. Enemies in the CIA, enemies individual. She was born in 1956. What's my middle name? I made it to general. Sylvia Lydia, Lydia Morelos is my maiden name. Her married name became Morelos. Y for occupy, IA for illegal aliens. That's my middle name. I was born in 1974. Okay, so I got a threat from someone. They just froze the screen. I don't know about, they obviously identify with occupy and illegal aliens. You see how easy that is? They're stupid bastards that they are. That screen can be traced. So I've known about occupy and illegal aliens for many years, and we're all military, and Ronald Reagan family. Saludos desde Tijuana. It's on 23rd and Broadway. Ernestina Ulloa Orozco, a.k.a. Marilyn Monroe, a.k.a. Maria Felix, Ronald Reagan's younger sister, aside from John Wooden. And they were twins, John Wooden and our grandmother, Abuelita Ernestina Orozco. And they'd skipped a generation. My mom, Samantha Stevens, and Sergeant Lieutenant Sylvia Leticia Garcia. They changed several times in musicians too, and acting. She was, for example, Lizzie Borden in the movie Lizzie Borden as Samantha Stevens. And they did a lot of good letting people know about the Third Reich on television. People would go back and look at it. Intelligent people would find it. So she knew, they trained us as they hate the women. I'm like, women aren't powerful, and my mother killed you, ISIS, from the get-go. They're the ones who trained us. You didn't see us coming because we didn't want you to. It's called camouflage. So the military Lexus. It's have you seen the picture that I took at the VA hospital honoring military women? Too many of us went down. Gloria, as Whitney Houston, our mother, as was Alicia Bridges, Whitney Houston, Again, and same people, perps from, the Reese raped her when Joseph Reese raped her, and he had a San square body, so who knows how old he actually was, and he raped me when I was 25, physical rape. And then Mr. Reese Sr. raped my grandmother, older. So I rented a room from them, unbeknownst to me who they were, and he's like, I had her right here, Sylvia Jr., I had her right here, man. Damn, my butcher, Joseph Reese was the one, her son was the one who raped me physically. I was 25. He's no longer with us. Sex offender, take back the night. I heard a rumor that the on-campus incidences of sex crimes are attributed to 60% of University of Lafayette EULA grads. That's one rumor that I heard. Take back the night. We're looking back at all the colleges across the U.S. Looking back at all colleges across the U.S. Take back the night from the University of Lafayette, Louisiana. And it's worldwide because they have a foreign exchange program to 19 different countries. So fuckers go crazy when they think there's no democracy around. They're the ones assuming that. They're the ones assuming all of that. There is no rule of law. Let's go rape some bitch. They call me a bitch all the time. Mhm. China-U.S. reached favorable textile trade pact. Rebels detonate 50 bombs in Corsica. Wow. Band of Algerians decapitate 31. Algeria. A band of men armed with knives and axes decapitated 31 people who had been forced from their homes in Media displacement south of the capital into the streets, and El Watan newspaper reported Sunday. The attack by about 50 men took place early Saturday. The newspaper quoted local residents as saying, "You have to do something." El Watan quoted a resident who contacted the paper as saying more than 30 people have their throats slit. The French-language newspaper said 31 bodies were taken to the morgue at Media hospital. Security forces moved into the neighborhood Saturday. It said the attack was the latest in a series of car bombings and village massacres that have intensified with the start of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Since then, about 310 people are known to have been killed and 600 injured. Right back at you. This is on World and Nation Briefs. And this is legal. Encountering terrorists, it's legal. 3 bombs found in San Diego area, Chula Vista, California. Police evacuated a neighborhood surrounding the home of a federal employee who received a pipe bomb in the mail Saturday. The third such device found in the San Diego area in as many days. Ouch. The bomb did not go off when the man opened the package at 4:28 p.m. Saturday, said Sergeant Tom Keblish. When he opened it, he realized it was a pipe bomb and threw it down on the bed, he said. The package contained 2 pipe bombs, both of which were disarmed without any injuries. Sergeant Conrad Grayson of the San Diego Sheriff's Bomb Squad said the bombs were sophisticated and could have blown out the inside of the house. The bomb appeared to be constructed by the same person who built 2 other bombs and mailed them Thursday and Friday, compiled from Daily Bruin Wire Services. 8 p.m. All right. World leaders. There's a pizza box. Okay. For $31.99. Do you throw like a girl? There's that one. Power map. This is interesting. It's going to piss off a lot of people later. Well, I took a zeroth copy of it. This is on page 11 of Daily Bruin News, Monday, February 3rd, 1997. Week 5, self-help. Looks like Renee Zach Rubio, kind of. I could be wrong. No, that's Renee Zach Rubio. He's turning into a girl. Their beautiful results start now. Renee is saying that. Looks like. Wow. So they're saying a lot here. It's only 1997. We extrapolate technology-wise, extrapolate. That's what that's saying. So, otter. Is more reform needed to reign in politics? Viewpoint, Monday, February 3rd, 1997. More reform needed to reign in politics. Brand's Baking News Store delivers special goodies by Huston Horey, Horey. And that looks like a threat for future reference. They're going to, I caught that at the resident, going through the Daily Bruin. Pretty Woman is one of them. Going through the Daily Bruin and picking out ideas. And you can't be that stupid. I just read it, man. You know, and Julia Roberts. Dying Village suffers from conspiracy. The enemies of Westwood. Integrity needed in politics. So that's letters. That's 2 of them. That's on display. Albert's used to be Abraham. Almost trying to let us know. On display at UCLA. In the Armand Hammer Museum of Art, Ken Apted Albert used to be Abraham, all on wood with sandblasted glass and bolts. So, Skirball Cultural Center celebrates Jewish exhibit. We need to keep in touch with the lives of Jews around the world. This is almost a 97. Look what these idiots are doing. Somebody tore this out. Construction of property. Embracing ethnicity. Embracing ethnicity. Embracing ethnicity. Mm-hmm. Very good people. Okay. That is February 3rd. I have 3 more columns I need to find. It's 2 in the first volume.
Hello.
News visit with Yeltsin. Even more villagers killed in Nigeria. Weather prevents plane rescue. Man investigated for bombings is released. That's Crime Watch.
So, basically, Mondays, and basically.
This is the band. Very cool. Star Wars exploits the blockbuster trend it started. Very cool. Okay. Inconsistency Mars talented team. Jury finds Simpson liable. Most students watching on campus express indifference toward outcome of case. Daily Bruin, February 5th, 1997. Daily Bruin, UCLA. Jury finds Simpson liable. Look at Gore. Poor Gore. Raul Payam Lomeli is Gore, Salvation Army. Prick. Dorms not to carry Fox Sports. Vice President Al Gore brings news of grant for voice. Let me reread that. Vice President Al Gore brings news of grant for Royce retrofit. Theo Eula grant. Vice President presents grant for Royce Hall retrofitting. New funding will help repair quake damaged edifice. Brooke Olson, Daily Bruin staff. He's a Eula grad. He's in trouble. Test of willpower.
So, I mean, this could be.
Test of willpower.
Yeah. So we
And here goes this one. World and Nation. School funding tops president's agenda. Education, balanced budget among second-term priorities by Terrence Hunt, The Associated Press. Clinton. President Clinton begins the State of the Union address Tuesday, yada, yada, yada. Then 70 also at the same time, 70 soldiers killed in chopper crash. This is an air disaster described as worst in Israeli military history. Emergency personnel examine wreckage at the Israel site of the fatal crash between 2 CH-53 military transport helicopters. U.S. ambassador to France hospitalized for stroke. Associated Press, Christoph Burns, B-U-R-N-S. Harriman, 76, in serious condition after cerebral hemorrhage. In a World and Nation briefs, Japan to compensate for oil spill deaths. Nazi gold distribution frozen. Haha. Vitamin D may inhibit tumor. Committees propose 22 million for courts. Well, he's anonymous. Right. And over here, Union from page 5, Wednesday, February 5th, 1997. Daily Bruin News 6. There they go again.
When I was like writing, at some point I just stopped writing because I didn't even understand what he was saying. Because the thing was like, yeah, I already finished the curriculum.
This is a really good one.
Oh, wow.
This is a really good one. Viewpoints, Wednesday, February 5, 1997, page 13. It's over here by J. Gioni, Jioni Palmer, Palmer. Palmer is a fourth-year African-American Studies and Political Science student. Don't neglect the power of your voice. Expression, a vital skill for oppressed people in face of numerous societal assumptions. It was very wonderful. And so that's very important. Activism is very important. That's wonderful. Teachers must be held accountable. Education instructors' performance should be judged on competency. Amen. Roland Nethaway, New York Times. They did that. Picking up on that. And this isn't funny. Bobby and I are not lovers. No matter how many times we try to portray that, we're not lovers. Alright, so it says here, Rick Aiden Young and Melissa Saffron Burrows are old high school sweethearts later in Hotel de Louvre. Bruins defeat Waves in mediocre outing. Unimpressive performance by Park doesn't hold UCLA back. Christina Walcott's Daily Bruin contributed the story of the game with ordinary performance on mound. Bruins defeat Waves in mediocre. Bruins defeat Waves in mediocre outing. Wednesday, February 5th, 1997. Daily Bruin Sport. Didn't even make mediocre. Alright.
Generally stuff that happens at the time.
And then there's
The third one is like USAC administration, so government.
Journal of Medicine features UCLA study.
One is like student life, so I can recommend students.
Researchers tackle little studied area of treatments for children. Community unites in mourning. Both Jews and Arabs grieve for young soldier killed in crash. Here, World News. Allegations led Army to question co-ed training. Harassment at task force will decide if policy contributed to abuses by Susan M. Schaefer, The Associated Press. Thursday, February 6, 1997, Daily Bruin News. President asked for $51 billion to increase quality of education. Clinton proposal calls for 20% federal fund increase tax credits. Ron Fournier, The Associated Press. Breastwork kills at least 72 people, injures 200. Wisconsin sues tobacco industry. Doctors prescribe deadly doses. Taylor delayed tumor surgery for AIDS gala. Very nice. Very nice. Harriman, U.S. ambassador to France, dies of stroke. Socialist hardliners will defend state if daily rallies. Protests. Opposition supporters still push for democracy in Yugoslavia. Judith Ingram, The Associated Press. 1,000 protests in Albania. San Francisco to set rules for distribution of marijuana. Anti-homophobia and equal rights resolution. Great. U.S. trade embargo misses intended target. Viewpoint. Exposing a day in the life of a beauty salon addict. Let it snow. British Labour Party promises no increased income tax public spending by Anthony Lewis, New York Times. Facing disaster. Ghost Story Rose performs life lesson. Touch of Brazil in Hollywood. Touch, a gripping comedy.
Oh, sorry.
So I have two of my columns in here. This is UCLA Daily Bruin, 7 Volume 1. ASU Celia's publication office, winter 1997. Kirkhoff, 118, first floor. This one, it's UCLA Daily Bruin, winter 1997, volume 2. ASU CLA Publications Office, winter 1997, volume 2 is in here, which is great. This one, government property, I'm telling you. Child suspect arrested for abortion clinic bombings. This is Friday, February 7, 1997. Mediators hold meeting with rebels. Look at that. Reagan celebrates 86th birthday in private. Ronald Reagan, my great-granduncle, our great-granduncle, Bobby and I. Reagan celebrates 86th birthday in private. Friday, February 7, 1997. Ronald Reagan celebrated his 86th birthday on Thursday in the same low-key, private way he has lived since being diagnosed with Alzheimer's 3 years ago. Brownie Troop 313 from Redondo Beach delivered cookies, and a children's choir from San Fernando's Glen Oaks Primary Center sang Happy Birthday and Battle Hymn of the Republic at a party at the Century City office. Entering the building, the nation's 40th chief executive looked much the same as he did as president. The confident gait, the friendly wave, flashing his famous aw shucks grin after spotting red, white, and blue balloons. Few have seen the former president since it was revealed that he was suffering from an irreversible neurological disorder, compiled from Daily Bruin Wire Service. Very nice, very cool. World and nation briefs. That's our uncle. Very nice. Here's Mimi. Impact of social geography viewpoint. Identity, neighborhoods, and gender distinct notions of ethnicity and class. It's Mimi Guzman.
Yeah, I was like, this is Jasmine just throwing that.
This one looks familiar. Looks like Yolanda Carter. Naked Truth. Let's go through it. Yes, let's. All right. Clinton's proposal admirable, but blah, blah, blah. Discussion and effective tool in race relations. It's on page 10, Monday, February 10th. Discussion and effective tool in race relations. Race shouldn't decide identity. It's interesting, the bottom one. And what else we find? Muhammad Ali is in this one. Intel on campus. That was just funny. It's Monday, February 10, 1997. Very cool. You try to warn us about TLC back then. Disaster in Love, anti-Valentine's sale, which is very nice. Let's see this. Here's this one. Loving My Religion, which is Daily Bruin Viewpoint, February 11, 1997. This one is AAP hiring policy based on competence, not politics. Program misrepresented as discriminatory by C. Adolfo Bermeo. Placement program. Core classes needed to master literature. Hypocrisy and ousting Connolly. Holocaust still happens down here. And that's a criticism. Andres Chang, second year theater. This is loving my religion. It's me, a narrator. Relate to God on your own terms, not by standard conceptions. Sylvia Morelos. Here I wrote, Morelos is a fourth-year klutz, Kluts, among other things. She can be reached at Silvana at UCLA.edu. Morelos is a fourth-year klutz, among other things. She can be reached at Silvana at UCLA.edu. Relate to God on your own terms, not by standard conceptions. What is God? Non-practicing Catholic by ascribed fortune. Most of my life, I had trouble trying to figure out God and trying to oblige by the dictates and rules that he laid.
He's still in the office.
Bye, Isis. As a wannabe non-practicing Catholic by ascribed fortune, most of my life I had trouble trying to figure out God and trying to oblige by the dictates and rules that he laid out for all his children here on earth. But more often than not, I got lost. Okay, as a wannabe non-practicing Catholic by ascribed fortune, most of my life I had trouble trying to figure out God and trying to oblige by the dictates and rules that he had laid out for his children here on earth. More often than not, I got lost in the contradictions that I found in Catholic and other religious beliefs. My visit to Mexico when I was 14 years old opened up my eyes to further entrenched religious beliefs as to what is good and sinful. It was confusing because I remember neither my mother nor my abuelita grandmother being practicing Catholics. They never really told me anything, but I was obliged to go to Misa Mass with my not so well-known members of my traditional, condescending, extended Mexican family. At church, I was overwhelmed by the intense atmosphere of devotion and el amor de Dios, God's love, and I even thought it was beautiful at one point. But I felt uncomfortable and embarrassed. I did not feel like I fit in. I did not know how to pray the way everyone else did, so I began rambling Our Father who art in heaven over and over again a mile a minute, like everyone else seemed to be doing, to at least pretend I understood. But I did not understand. Mass bored the hell out of me, and my mind began to wander. As I became more distracted, I became more uncomfortable. I freaked out even more when I was told that I would not be saved if I did not go to confession like a good Catholic girl every single Sunday. It was confusing because not only did I not understand who or what God was, but also why he seemed to be so conditional in his love. If you followed his rules, you would not go to hell, otherwise you'd be damned. I guess once a person begins to get older, your eyes begin to open up a little more. It can be very confusing to not be instilled with any particular way of believing in God as you are growing up, but I think that's a blessing in disguise. It gives me a sense of autonomy in terms of trying to figure out for myself how this almighty being, this higher power, relates to me. I found a way to relate to God for myself, I would understand. I find it amusing even in church that God should be one who only loves you if you do the right things that he tells you, go to church every Sunday, put him first before anything else, stop sinning, etc. Let me give you some examples of this conditional love of God that I have noticed. Once upon a sun-filled day, while meandering down Bruin Walk with my devoted little Walkman, I came across someone holding a big sign. Since I had a song blasting on the radio, I at first did not hear what this particular young man had to say. All I know was that there was a word in big red ink that said homos. I stopped and realized that the sign itself was pretty much condemning homos. It pissed me off. I'm still working on my quick temper, so shoot me. As I have had some friends who are gay or lesbian, I found this message annoying. He kept professing in God's name that homos were an abomination to God's will. He said they were sinning and that they needed to repent because they would not be saved otherwise. He mentioned now he too had been a sinner who had listened to certain music that was not holy, I guess, and that he drank blah, blah, blah. But he had repented and now thus bore God's sin-free message all over the world. Well, give him an Oreo cookie. There was another time here at school when I had been graced with God's conditional love once again. I am sure that many students have been approached by other students who are affiliated with some kind of religious organization here on campus. I have often found myself in the awkward position of getting them to leave me the hell alone without being rude or a smartass, especially when I'm suddenly caught off guard by one of them. For example, a classmate of mine last quarter once started to really be friendly and amiable to me for no particular reason. I did not know the girl, so I admit that I found her sudden friendliness surprising. She came up to me at the table one time during lunch to give me the assignment that I had missed when I had not been in class one day. After she consistently made efforts to be nice, I shrugged off my suspiciousness. I even felt guilty, but voila. One afternoon, she caught up with me on my way into Westwood and she began to small talk with me. Then all of a sudden, she was like, by the way, my religious group is having a retreat in a few weeks, and she was pretty much recruiting me to go. I became annoyed and I made up some lame excuse. I guess I was bothered by her strings attached, superficial friendliness. After that, she became rather distant for the remainder of the quarter, even to the point of being standoffish. That wasn't cool. Another example of God's conditional love by those who preach otherwise. Word or two from God's holier-than-thou sponsors. As a non-holy chick, I feel compelled to preach this. God and his creation, all of us, are not mutually exclusive. To me, God is the following. If one were but to open his or her, see Religion, page 14. Religion from page 13. If one were but to open his or her eye, he or she would perceive that heaven has already been attained at the death of one's being. One had only to become what one already was by creation and promise. Therefore, to be saved, I must be what I already am. These words were said by John Youngblood in his book, The Gentle Art of Spiritual Guidance. I finally understood that I can directly relate to God as long as I am true to myself. In my case, as a heterosexual woman, that means being true to my deep, unknowing ways of thinking, my passion and my sensuality, my creativity and my spirituality. I believe that God is an involvement of your true self, of your a growing awareness of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Otherwise, why would God, who is the highest power, supposedly be create us in his likeness? And I believe that even in my ultimate goal to help others, it is extremely important to know, be true, and to become aware of how to heal myself first. Contrary to the notions of religious fanatics, this means even being a lover of pleasure, because that in itself is indeed being true to myself and to the God within me. I deserve love too. I rarely received it growing up, and so I suffered as hell, and sure as hell I'm learning. Once I learn how to love me, I can love and help wholeheartedly. Number 2, God's love is not conditional. Don't love yourself depending on what others want from you or from what they want you to be. Being true to yourself, furthering your spirit, and being true to your dreams and challenging obstacles is God. It's love. It's God. Being true means many different things to many people. Denying yourself and therefore being kept in the closet is, quote unquote, is detrimental spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Thus, contrary to the notions of the guy with the sign, I also argue unconditionally that we should support homosexual unions when they further the life of the spirit by the same criteria we apply to heterosexual unions. Both heterosexual and homosexual unions, if they are to meet the human potential for development in the life of the spirit, will be increasingly characterized by love, joy, patience, peace, and integrity. Number 3, who the hell said that God was a man anyhow? Of all the patriarchal notions, quote, every human being is to some extent both a man and a woman. As a result of this duality, we relate to each other not only through the sexes we consciously belong to, but also transversely through our unconscious sexual sides, unquote. So there, God is not what he is cut out to be. I was questioning God, is he a male or a female? Although I respect the fact that others, like my extended family in Mexico, fervently believe in their conditional, almighty, all-powerful he, God, my God is different. It's more humane to me and more tangible. On one final note for Valentine's Day this Friday, for many singles like myself, that day can be a seriously overrated drag. But it's smart to appreciate your independence, have fun, and to somehow love yourself before you regret it later. To those who are still in the closet for whatever reason, look at that day as one in which to get the hell out. For those who may secretly have a crush on someone, say something at least on that day for crying out loud. Be true to yourself. You lose nothing. That is I was all gung-ho. Arts and Entertainment, page 16. 27. Arts and Entertainment, page 16. Hunting Humans, Lance Right Off Target Theater. Black comedy's many twists and turns leave audience confused by Alicia Cheek, Daily Bruin contributor. And playing the Matthew Perry, Selma Hayek. She looks a little bit too much like me. Selma Hayek. No, she is not me. She's going to tell me that's me. No, it's not me. They're in the movie Dogma. Selma Hayek. The movie, well. This is interesting. A service of ashes. Excuse me. This Wednesdays. That's interesting. Bobby Brown's absence hindered New Edition Saturday night show at Storm. Free sneak preview. Oh. Rosewoods. Free sneak preview. UCLA versus USC. They said it was racial tension. It's not racial sportsmanship. Rival sports. Rival teams. Football. UCLA football. UCLA baseball. It was stupid from the get-go. We all noticed it. There's no racial tension. It's just competition. Sports. Although it seems good too. Chronicles of a College Town. That's Westwood by the Riverside. And this one's a little freaky. Israel frees Palestinian prisoners. 31 women were released. I mean, like right here. 31 women were released from jail amid demonstrations by Samar Assad, the Associated Press. In jail overnight after blocking worksite. And Love Anti-Valentine. TLC Gloria by Griffin. It was probably already on campus back then, just finance. On-campus traffic hazardous to students. Still, something should be done about the traffic problems in front of Murphy Hall. With rush to change constitution overshadows lawmakers' real duties. The public autos access to Murphy Hall should be curtailed in light of recent accidents. Andrew J. West Hall. Something should be done about the traffic problems in front of Murphy Hall. On-campus traffic hazardous to students. Viewpoints. That is him. All right. Voices Power Student Government Involvement, the first step to ensuring better education by Alberto Rojana. Stress and point of writing ability. See what else we got. This is interesting too. Look at that. Arts and Beyond. Academy announces nominees for awards. So, everyone knows where that's at. 419 Dowling, Star of Hope in the back. So, Magnifico Bailari. So, all right. All right, so St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Looks like Aerosmith, it really does. It's page 3, Friday, February 14, 1997, Daily Bruin News, St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Come at a news column near you. Syrian rebels try to oust president. Nice. Cultural night recently in West LA. Yes, Calvada and Westwood. Great. Here's Mimi. Enrollment in Bliss class impacted. Love Goddess explains relationships curriculum to students' lessons. February 14, 1987 at Friday. Mimi Love Goddess Guzman, a fourth-year student majoring in the dating habits of college students, wishes Bliss didn't conflict with her course schedule. Those little anecdotes are us. So, people on their own. Silvana, we all know where my nickname came from too. And, Touch. Oh, this one. Touch. Smart and funny, wonderfully wicked. Bridget Fonda, Christopher Walken, Skeet Ulrich, and Tom Arnold. Ulrich. Daily Bruin. Employees march against layoffs. The aftermath. STAR project combats racism with different approach. STAR project combats racism with different approach. College students discuss race-related issues with teens. Sharon Yi, LHJ, Sharon Yi, Blunt contributor. Okay. Let me see. That cool stuff. That is big poster events. Information here. Over 2,000 different images, great prices, huge selection. Blue Train, John Coltrane, Bob Marley, very cool. Star Wars. This is Tuesday, February 18, 1997, page 15, Daily Bruin News. Teaching to unite seekers of social justice. Here we go. Social justice. UCLA event to focus on transcending race, gender, class lines. Alex Caputo Pearl and Hani Khalil Labor. Graduate students at Department of Urban Planning and have worked with labor community organizations in culture, state must cooperate with prosperity, society hesitant to understand vegan lifestyle. Oscars. Here she is. She's supposed to be me in the future. I caught it 20 years later. Selma Hayek, something like that. Right there. So, DJ 7. That's the impression it gives. Showtime, Student Film Festival 6. DJ Spooky. That one. Selma Hayek. Point. Documentary traces roots of nations' racial divide. Very cool. All right. Black journalism. Black journalism. They're Black journalism at UCLA. UCLA's NAMO, UCLA's NOMMO. UCLA's Voice for the African Community is the oldest, most respected student publication of its kind in the country. For the past 28 years, NAMO has published for and about the African community of UCLA and Los Angeles. Very cool. Black journalism at UCLA, Kirchhoff 149. Very nice. All right, First Connection. First Connection, Daily Bruin, LA Story. Daily Bruin, LA Story. Very nice. UCLA 13. Village businesses facing hard times. Westwood merchants deal with parking woes. New Ackerman Union. Michelle Navarro, Daily Bruin contributors. Yeltsin, Arafat hold talks. UN seeks to end civil war. Clinton probe likely to get new prosecutor. And it's on 1997. Air Force defends F-16 pilots. 16 pilots. There's a beating SC. That's interesting. No gut, no glory. Active teaching, vital for learning. America's debt to African slaves unpaid. Mr. Palmer. Active teaching, vital for learning. Memorizing materials doesn't help develop reasoning skills by Adam Reed. Problems with hiring standards at the tip of the iceberg. Campbell Hall has closed itself up to differences in opinion by James View AAP. Oh, very nice. Wow. February 19th. February 19th. My hands are all black now. Disney movie may harm, not help development. Great. This deconstruction of a sticky situation opens door to confrontation of stereotypes, reflection on life experiences, reveals occupation of prejudices. Guzman, the fifth-year sociology student. All right. reminds me of Vincent de Paul, St. Vincent de Paul at 1501 Imperial Avenue. No. This looks like Mrs. Tina Reef. She was my landlord for a while. It's a lot like her. That one. And 10606 Loch Lomond Drive. Killer. She's on the mural in Ackerman Union, level 1. Anyone know what happened to Acapulco restaurant in Westwood? I wonder. All right, martial arts call challenge students. Search for challenges should be public. Going solo. Arts and entertainment going solo. Looks like me a little bit. Look at this one. It's interesting too. All right. History Month. It's February. Columns in. There it is. University shouldn't stifle one's potential. There it is right there. That's me again. And it's Morelos has LLL lost it. You can reach her at Sylvana at ucla.edu. Sylvana. That's me. By Nancy Dorthick, the portrait she has on the wall. She's read my columns. I used to be her tenant. It's Daily Bruin Viewpoint, Tuesday, February 25th, 1997, page 11 of Viewpoint. Education, some professors, TAs focus on themselves, not on the needs of students reaching out to them. And that's me. I used to wear a choker all the time. Aborting Gay Babies. Aborting Gay Babies. By Andrew Abdul, a Hub fourth-year political science student. And this is the infamous Clinton shouldn't have intervened. Shouldn't have intervened. Famous. She doesn't like it, but Clinton, I used that as one of my pictures for my Twitter. She didn't like it one bit. Casualties of war. Hillary. Casualties of war. All right, so Israeli soldiers kill 1, injure 3. I need to find something. It's getting late. Past revisited. What the heck? Like Guapica. Arts Entertainment, February 26, 1997. This fool shows up. World and Nation. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu holds up a map of Jerusalem during a press conference with Jerusalem Mayor Ehud Olmert and Netanyahu's office on Wednesday. Jews to settle in East Jerusalem. Israeli move draws criticism from Arab world and the West. The Associated Press. He looks just like Gene Block. They're related. So. Quickly. And they cannot cure classroom ailments. UCLA's film. Hello. Arts and Entertainment, Thursday, February 27, 1997. Donnie Brasco. Nice. Okay. My apologies, Mr. Depp. Okay. Hello. There's Selena. Selena right here. Mhm. Don't get burned. You're happy. Mhm. What did I say about the Jehovah's at Santa Monica Beach? Since when do they wear two pieces? Now, be careful who you're, excuse my language, be careful who you're fucking as those bitches kill. Ooh. Fuckers. Well, I can be very heroic sometimes. Roscoe, here's Donnie. Tolerance, American History Month. Donnie Brasco gets fresh with mafia genre. Very nice. I've never seen that movie. Nope. Howard Stern, Private Parts. Very nice. I saw this one. Joseph tried getting younger again. Joseph Reith, this one. March 3rd, 1997, Daily Bruin. It's Joseph Reith. That looks a lot like a stem of his. NYU and LACC. Celebrate Women's History Month. There's this one. So got their own books from our Women's Studies program. This should be interesting. A lot of good stuff. Imminent human cloning, collision of beauty or terror. Science. Sheep clone provokes moral debate about creationary rights, obligations, dangers by William Safire. New York Times. Cool. All right. A lot of info. A lot of background information here. We were in school before I graduated late for obvious reasons. Political targeting was brutal. There's YouTube. YouTube popped. This is Daily Bruin News, Tuesday, March 4th, 1997, page 8. Daily Bruin News, right under the column is all there. Music, Island Music, 1997, Polygram International Music BV. That's YouTube. There. Revolution usually Bruins, 96, 97, Pac-10 championships. Baby beanies are here. Baby beanies are here. Clinton must face heat for action. U.S. must end aid to Indonesian tyranny in East Timor. Clinton by Jennifer Nelson. President needs to address question about illegal coffee stays in Lincoln bedroom. Responsibility. Clinton must face heat for action. Daily Bruin Viewpoint, Tuesday, March 4th, 1997. Teaching to focus on workers' civil rights. We're all against dictatorships, obviously. Wrong schools that doesn't. Engine 88. Can't get one more. New chancellor to be named Thursday at namesake. There's a rumor going around that Mr. Current Chancellor Gene Block wants to run for UC Regent in the future. So it's interesting. He's ready to begin playing out. Students must fight stifling of thoughts. Very nice. Viewpoint, Wednesday, March 5th, 1997, page 12. Daily Bruin Viewpoint. Students must fight stifling of thought. Politics, cutbacks in funding for education designed to quash knowledge. Keep status quo. Very nice by Mr. J. Gioni Palmer. English department should give American writers a voice. Palmer is a fourth-year African-American studies student. Reviving the good old days. That's my that's our great granduncle. Reviving the good old days. Daily Bruin Viewpoint, Wednesday, March 5, 1997. Theory of a 20-year cycle proven as 80s era items come back in style and fashion and music by Mark Lane, New York Times. It's all in here. Same-sex partners deserve equal rights. Very cool. Very informative. Did a wonderful job. Staff, the editorial board back then did a wonderful job. Very nice. Preserved it. And did a wonderful job. So, okay. Carnesal, next chancellor. Remember, Harvard provost select to head UCLA. Sources confirm. Bruin Democrats revoke support of students first. Armenia. All right. Bob Mole paved way for Democrats. Bob Mole paved way for Democrats. Viewpoint. Daily Bruin Viewpoint, March 6, 1997. Clinton's victory resulted from candidates' blindness, weak policies. The Kentucky Colonel, courtesy of University of Kentucky. Millennium Programs fight for access to education. Mission Impossible writer's block strikes all of us, inviting creative solutions. Wow, look at that. Former tutor's positive experience contradicts misconceptions about the program. International Women's Day Symposium. Big on women's rights here. Pop lives up to media hype with new sounds. Music YouTube showcases true artistic genius with latest innovative release by Mark Pravat, Daily Bruin contributor, Thursday, March 6, 1997, page 20 of the Arts and Mark Short, your page. Nice. Wonderful job. A lot of information here. I like this one. Maybe she'd have her teeth left if she, something like that. Great. So I'm asking them, they're threatening to tear down the paper. What are you going to do? Cut the picture? They would. It's just a given. Should just be a given. It was interesting. That one. Very cool. All right. We're almost there. Medical info. Mimi School's boundaries revisited. Harassment. A woman is more than the sum total of her body parts. To attract or not to attract, that is a question we often face every morning. It's Mimi. Very nice. Very cool. She was educated. She one thing I know about her. She was educated. She was a very, 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 very extremely intelligent. So I respect intelligence. Finals week, midnight Yale approaches. Very cool. But a student who disappeared. Entrepreneurs Association helps create opportunities. Daily Bruin News, 1997, page 4. Club Anderson School Group fosters exchange of ideas, gives advice on starting a business by Gregory Mena, MENA, Daily Bruin contributor. Very cool. Such as to rebel Albanian insurgents rebel as they drive a commandeered army tank in Jaroska on Sunday. Anarchy reigned with thousands looting the main. Fuck anarchy. Anarchy, that does not rain. No, that's given. We have others. Graduation jitters, strike psyche of an average student. Ouch. Torres is a third-year psychology student who thinks that he should have been selected chancellor. Jesse Torres, very cool. He graduated, managed his life after college, reminisces philosophically about his academic performance at UCLA. Okay. Running on empty. Reality Bites. Bite bag. This is great. Reality Bites bite baggies. Oh, very nice. Reality Bites bite bag. Yes. Wonderful job. I took out specific copies and copied them. There's a copy machine down there for free. Posted them online. I'll go over the rest of it if I can't find everything. So I'm going through it. So specific things like that. It was important. It's always nice to see a column 20 years later when I'm young. 20 years later, it's just really great. This one's interesting. Mm-hmm. Really cool. Liar, liar, Mr. Carey, Mr. Jim Carey. So, all right. Building awareness. Building awareness. That is Daily Premium Viewpoint, Thursday, March 13th, page 24. Student events heard by Scott Lunsford, Daily Print staff, Edmund J. Keller. Go to a future in journalism. Mine too, so. The long march back, very nice. Very cool.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was getting it like 5 stars. She might. How fun was one?
So it was, no, that's the Resino, Stephanie, and Anna, aka Margarita Garcia, doesn't want me to look into Just Move It. I could hear her. It's her who's being implicated, and Derek Max Waltica. I'll go back online in my Google Drive and do that. My Google Drive.
Okay. Do you have Paco? Okay, I can export an XML.
If that's like difficult, then maybe you could just give me the clip and then I can stop it. If just
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna suggest.
Okay, so I'll give you a second.
So I'm done with my research.
Basically just find-
And do some more online. Sylvia, Lydia, Morelos, great.
And if you have any,
And continue online. Go back to Kirkhoff Hall at Kirkhoff Hall, Ackerman, Level 1 Union. Graduated eventually in 2003 from Latin American Studies. I didn't go at this blind. Don't question my identity again, 'cause I'm really sick of it being defamed by it. That's not her. Fuck them. And we will get back to this later.